Welcome to Louisiana Heart Beats. I'm Sudie Landry, host today. And also welcome Facebook, and I hope that you enjoy the show today. Here is Ashlyn Hanks, our reigning, at this time, 2017 through 2018 queen. She will always have her crown, and we want to talk about what happens after the crown. So welcome to the show, Ashlyn.
Thank you so much for having me.
You're welcome. Katie Anna, we've been having technical difficulties, so I feel like we've already done a show, and yet I think it's going to be even a better show. So thank you. Sit back. Let your friends know that Ashlyn is live here on Facebook. Ashlyn, let's just go ahead and get into the situation of what is that crown all about? You said that, and one of the things that you quoted was that when you were chosen to represent the city of Scott, Louisiana, this is Miss Scott, okay, that you had no idea how much life would change. And then, would you like to share with us how it did make a change? What did you do?
Yes, ma'am. So as being Miss Scott, Louisiana, you represent the small businesses of Scott. And not only that, I mean, you're representing a city, the city of Scott, and there's just so much that goes on. It is really a wonderful city that a lot of people, if they really got to know the people behind the city, I mean, it is really an incredible place, and it has changed my life because I've gotten to know lots of business owners. I have been to so many ribbon cuttings and groundbreaking ceremonies for Scott, and things that I never thought I would do this year, that's for sure. Yeah.
Well, I want to add and kind of backtrack a little bit. Ashlyn really had no plans to enter the first pageant, but our grandmother, I would love to say thank you very much, Grandma and Mother, encouraged her to enter because you really hadn't really thought too much about it. So congratulations to them that they believed in you and you became Miss Scott.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and so now your reign is coming to an end and a new Miss Scott will be taking over. So what would be some advice you may give her to encourage her during this time of her reign?
To enjoy everything that it offers you, because it's a platform that you won't get, well, I mean, you may have something similar, but it's certainly not going to be like that. And that whatever you sow into this year, you're going to reap whatever that is. And I really felt like I did what I could and went to all the events and made myself known and really tried my hardest to be the best Miss Scott of that current year that I could be. And certainly for the new Miss Scott to just take every advantage and that it offers you and that it allows, and just enjoy it because it's fun.
Most important thing is enjoy, be proud, and just do it, right?
Yes.
Well, I've been following you since I first met you, and thank goodness you post a lot of pictures on Facebook, and I'm so glad that you called to come back on the show. And I had kind of talked with you briefly about an idea that maybe we may share in the future. But right now, I would like to say, with the year that you've had, okay, what's going to happen? What are some of the plans you have? Number one, let's talk about graduation, I think, huh?
Yes, ma'am. So it is my senior year this year. And so I will be graduating soon enough. And I'll be going to college, and I want to go for occupational therapy at the moment. I mean, you never know. God may change that. But as of now, that's my view. That's where I'm wanting to go, just because I've been a cheerleader, and I've been on the sidelines, and I kind of seen the breakdown of what happens to athletes and to patients, and I really have a love for elderly people too, and so all that wrapped together, I just really feel like occupational therapy would be a great fit for me.
It sounds like it would be. No accident. So, will you be taking a little break before you start college?
I don't think so. I think I'm the type of personality that just likes to keep going.
Just go into it and let's do it, huh?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now, I understand, I think I found out on Facebook that you were offered a job, or did you apply for that job?
Yes, ma'am. Well, actually, I did not apply at all. They,
you see that?
So, Community Chronicles, which is a local newspaper, it covers many different cities, surrounding cities, and in Louisiana. And they contacted me and they asked me if I wanted to start writing for the city of Scott, because I'm so involved in that city. I was at everything, and I still want to go to everything. And they asked if I would mind covering stories every month for Scott, Louisiana, and I accepted, and it's been awesome. I've already, 2 of my articles have already been published, so if you want to go see that.
Hey, I saw her with her little paper posing, and it was really wonderful. That's how I found out. Well, congratulations. It sounds like everything's just falling into place, but hard work does not go unnoticed. and we have a passion. It's like anyone that has a passion, and if you love what you're doing, somebody's going to notice. And I mean, I saw that myself just by following Facebook, and then of course, being a television show host, I love to have ideas, and then the Lord lays on my heart to approach somebody about, would you consider doing a show? And then you start talking to the person, you find out perhaps there's other areas, but they could still incorporate their idea into what you have in mind also. And I say that to say this, it must be awesome being contacted to go and do articles and do it for the town paper in your town, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Scott. So I was bringing it to your, recalling to you and sharing with you earlier how I met you, and that was, and I thank God that Therese Roloff introduced me to you, because it's how I was able to get you on my show. Had I tried to do it myself with the activities that you had going on, I don't think I could have gotten you that fast, that soon, you know. So I want to say thank you very much, and that's another hardworking, dedicated lady to Scott, Louisiana.
Yes, it's definitely.
You know. So with your plans going on, what's the next event that you look forward to going to?
Oh, wow.
Anything going on?
Well, actually, the next write-up that I'm doing for Scott is actually going to be kind of a big deal. It's called the Holiday Electronic Challenge, and that's what we're challenging people all throughout Acadiana and other cities, and anyone, if you're watching, totally do this with us. That's actually my next article that I'm writing about. It's challenging everyone to put away their cell phones and, you know, just get off of social media just for, even if it's a couple hours, and enjoy time with your family during the holidays. And that's something that I really feel as a teenager this generation would benefit from, because we've taken so much time to just soak into what's on the phone and not realize, like, hey, we're going to miss what we're having around us one day. Like, I may not have these people in my life the next couple of years, or if I'm in college, it's not going to be the same as it is right now. So it's a challenge that we're doing to put away cellular devices, take pictures the old-fashioned way with your camera, and yeah, feel free to.
Okay,
join
so
in.
okay, are you going to be posting that on Facebook so we will know when it's going to take place?
Yes, it's
Okay,
going
and
to
then
be.
we can share.
Yes, so it's going to be like Thanksgiving, Christmas, really any time that you feel like, okay, well, we're having a gathering at the house, we're all hanging out and just enjoying family time for Thanksgiving or Christmas or whatever it is. And that's also something else that we're asking everyone to take like a basket and pass it around your house and put all your cell phones in there so there's no distractions, and put them on mute so you can't hear the notes calling, you know.
You know what it sounds like we need to do? We need to bring you back in and talk just about that. Okay, and with that said, what was the name of it again?
The Holiday Electronic Challenge.
Holiday Electronic. Okay, I want to hear more about that. Okay, and then I'm going to add something to you. There's no accident you brought that up. I didn't know that. Of course, I didn't know everything, but I like to keep on top. Actually, someone posted on Facebook I know and I'm close to, and they were saying, hey guys, what happened to the family that sits down at the table and eats together? Okay, and I love some of these commercials they've shown on television. Literally, people at the plate contacting each other sitting around the same table. So I love that idea of getting rid of the cell phones.
Right.
But about 4 months ago, my children, we were so used to going every Sunday to my mother-in-law who passed away several years ago. And it was the opportunity to family get together. And then when she passed away, it's like it just stopped. And so my children got together with me and said, Mom, can we start having every Sunday dinner? Different people in the family, immediate family, can make the lunch or the dinner or whatever you want to do. And so I said, sure. So we started now. It's, hey, Mom, what's on the menu? Who's cooking tonight? You know?
I love that.
But then we get there, and then I saw another response, Acadiana, while I brought this up, is I got a response from someone that took a poll of who actually was doing this, and he had a grand total of 3. Shame on us, Acadiana. 3 families, myself included, and 3 was doing this. So I love the idea of what you want to do is put those cell phones down, get off texting and the talking when you're talking to somebody. Let's talk to each other face to face. And technology is wonderful. I would not be alive today if it wasn't for it. But there's a time that we need to just get back to the basics and look at who we're talking to and appreciate why they're here.
Yeah.
Because we can be gone tomorrow.
A couple of hours isn't a big sacrifice for enjoying relationships that God gave you and put in your life for a reason. I mean, He wouldn't have done that unless.
So I'm pretty sure you're going to come up with more than one idea, just that one thing, huh?
I'm sure. We'll see.
I'd like to know. I'd like to know. So that sounds great that you have that in mind. Okay. Would you like to share with Acadiana the people who have supported you through this year of fantastic events?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Well, one of the main ones for sure. The moment that the name was, Miss Scott, Louisiana's Miss Ashlyn Hanks was Miss Mary Hebert. That moment, whenever we just connected, and she is my director, or was my director, and she guided me through the entire year of being Miss Scott, and that was incredible. She does so much already, and for her to be like a grandmother to me, she treated me more like a grandmother than she did a director, and I loved that. And the other people, of course, probably before that, was my parents, for sure. They sacrificed so much time, so much resources, and instead of going on date night, they came with me and went to events with me so that we could experience this year together, because they didn't want to miss it. And that's for sure two people that can never be replaced. My mom took all the pictures, so if you like her pictures,
That's good.
there you go.
Thanks to Mom.
Yeah, a mom that takes good pictures is, up there.
Okay, well, listen, what about this Morrison Purvis?
Okay, yes.
Who is that?
So he is the mayor of Scott. And he also supported me as well on Facebook. Him and his wife always commented, Ashlyn, thank you so much for representing Scott. You do such an incredible job. And in person, they were always like, hey, you want to come do this? And I was like, sure. I'd love to fix hot dogs and give it to the kids. That's what we did. And they definitely supported me all along and let me know about things that were going on that I could attend. And so those people for sure. Mr. Dennis Carr was someone else. He works for... it's the Scott Cultural Society, I believe it's what it's called. And we actually met him by accident. And he is so knowledgeable. He knows so much about history. Scott has so much history, and he just soaked it all in. And so he's actually sat down and explained everything to me one day. And he would let me know also about what was happening. He would post about different events I was at and just kind of share things about me and where I was, and hey, guess where Miss Scott is? She's in this part of Scott at this festival or at this grand opening, and him and his wife were incredible to me as well. So
a lot of great people, a wonderful town, a loving town. And when you say Scott, Louisiana, Acadiana, I'm thinking Boudin Festival. That's going and gone already, right?
yes, ma'am.
Yeah,
So I
missed it.
This year it was really cold. I'd never gone before, but it was very cold. I think one of the days it rained, and it almost felt like it could snow. But it was really spectacular. The people there, oh my gosh, the food that you'll eat. I ate so well that week. I think I actually gained weight because of how I couldn't stop eating the boudin. It was so good. Especially I had VIP passes, so I could do and go wherever I needed to go, and that was great. I would go up and speak, and I met a lot of other girls throughout Louisiana who had been crowned festival queens or city queens, and so that was great.
Yes, I can remember the first time that I actually got to see you in person, and that was at the Sweet Dough Pie Festival, which is coming up this October, the last weekend in October. And I was there, and it was cold. It was so cold. And I'm looking at Miss Scott, and she has nothing on. She's sleeveless, got a beautiful dress or sash, and she's not shaking. Her teeth are not clinging together. And I'm thinking, what is the secret that you're freezing to death, but you don't look like it? That was cold that day last year.
I think I was so soaked in. That was one of my first events that I went to. I was so soaked in to oh, this is really happening. I'm really here. And all the little girls were just following me. And of course, there were sweet dough pies, and I have never tasted anything so delicious before. They must have some incredible ingredients and old-timey recipes from handed down generation to generation.
I entered, and I enjoyed it, but that was my last time to enter. I was up against champions of champions, and I'm just a transplant, but I was determined that next time I'm just going to pay the fee, and I'm going to taste every pie. I enjoyed it, and what's so funny, I'm laughing, is little girls were following you all over. And Acadiana, it turned out that the photographers were following her all over, and there was these two little girls that were in the background, and for some reason they had on this coat that looked like a real dressy coat, bright colors, and they had the headbands on, and they had the curly hair, and it looked like as the queen was walking, like they were part of her court, which I didn't realize until someone said, "Look at there, I can't believe those little girls are following the queen." Then I realized it was my granddaughters.
Oh my God.
Everybody thought that they were part of the court. So when we sat down to eat, they wanted to know where you were, and I'm like, "Well, I'm not sure." And they said, "Well, who?" And I said, "Oh, they're not part." They said, "They're not part of the court." After that, they didn't want to take any more pictures. They were after you. And it was so much fun because my little girls were so excited. I thought my great-granddaughters, and they were like 6 and 2 at the time, and they were so excited to see a real queen in person, you know. So I wanted to tell you that particular day, you were gorgeous, and it was cold, and you looked like you were just warm.
Well, thanks.
It was really beautiful.
I was
day.
warm.
Yeah.
I was really warm inside.
Well, I was praying for you because I was freezing to death. I was freezing to
That's
death.
probably what it was.
That's what it was. That's what it was, among other people, I'm sure. But that was just one of the events, and it is coming up again. And yeah, that is one of the things that I got to see you in, only because I was filming it at the time. So really, we do appreciate, people do appreciate at these events when the queens take time to come out and mingle among. It really says volumes of how you are glad to be there and you do represent the people, because it's important that the passion that you have, or anybody who's serving in any kind of position, needs to love the people back that's actually loved you. So I really thank you and all the queens, future and past, you know, for taking time out of their busy schedule, because sometimes you may show up at things that weren't scheduled,
Right.
just because you want to be a part of it.
And some of them have jobs and are in college, and
That's right.
you know, they have a lot of other things that are happening in their life. But every weekend or every week or every other weekday, they have something going on, and they go to.
Well, I'm not sure how much time we have yet. My director will let us know. But before we get too close to the end of the show, let's talk about that dream or that vision you have. You just created something for your future. Was it some kind of company or something you're planning on?
I started a videography business. It's called Salt and Light Films, and I first started just documenting the events that I went to, and I'd have like a friend or two with me, or my mom, and they would video just me at these events, either Vermilionville or Scott Buddha Festival, wherever it could have been, the ball, and they would follow me and they would video everything, and then I have a software that I use everything for, and I put it together, these videos, and then I would post them, and I got a really, really great feedback from that. And then people started contacting me for weddings, and I started doing weddings, and I also do graduations and birthday parties.
So how did they find out about you? Just by seeing the pictures on, say, Facebook or whatever?
Pretty much.
Because I pretty well have seen you do a lot of interviews. You did it on television.
Yes,
Yeah,
ma'am.
I was looking at all that too.
KLFY.
Checking you out. Hey, when it comes to media, the people want to know. And so you were out there, and all your interviews are different, but yet you're sharing the same information, but you're adding to it. So today, I had wanted to say, okay, this is wonderful, this is awesome, so what are you doing? What are you going to be doing? And we have 5 minutes left in the show. Wow, we have done some talking. So, at this particular point in time, when will you be graduating?
Well, after I finish my senior year, which should be somewhere around May next year, and that should be when I'm graduating.
So you're still young,
I'm
you're still in,
I'm
okay,
just
you're not
17.
finishing this year. All right, we already went. That's wonderful, so you're a senior this year. This year, and you'll be graduating. Okay, and from that, I'm sure we're going to have all kinds of wonderful plans. And I don't usually bring this up, but you have some cute pictures in there with male people, boys, good boy,
Yes,
and whatever. But your pictures are beautiful, and if your mom took all those pictures, she has a talent also. We all have a gift. I think Mom has the gift of photography and pictures. And
She has a really good eye for stuff like that.
Yeah, I can tell by the pictures because it almost, you know, the phone makes it so great. If you know how to use it, it looks professional, you know. I keep looking at the crown, and I keep saying, what did it feel like when they put the crown on your head the first time?
It hurt.
It hurt. It was heavier than you thought, huh?
Yes, I actually told someone recently, it reminded me of the crown of thorns that Jesus worn. Because, you know, it may not look that heavy, but it's pure metal and it is jeweled up. And so when you put it on your head, I couldn't wear it for very long in the beginning. I had headaches.
So how do you keep it on your head?
I bobby pin it in. It's not bad anymore. I'm used to it.
If I'm not mistaken, well, this was in the last interview, but I didn't bring it up. But you have to take such good care of these crowns, and sometimes they accidentally drop and they get fractured. And I remember the crown that you took out when you first came. Is this the same crown?
It's the same one.
Wow, you've been taking good care of it, because at one point, I think Teresa was concerned that maybe it had been broken or something, but I guess not, because that looks good to me. It doesn't look like it's worn out at all.
Take good
Too
care.
bad that's not all real diamonds, huh? Yay! 3 minutes left in the show. And so anyway, so that crown right there. And let's talk about the picture. What's this picture about?
That was the day that I gave up my title, or, you know, my crown as Miss Scott for the year. And the upcoming Miss Scott Louisiana is Miss Sudie Landry. She took on my role, and she's already started doing a great job. She's competed in a couple other pageants, and so she came in and they were just like, well, we love her. So she took on my role, and I went up, and this night, it was the Scott Business Appreciation Night, and for all the small businesses in Scott. And so in front of all those people, I went up and I prepared a speech, and I spoke and cried. My junior Miss Scott, Sadie, she did not want to give it up, but she did an incredible job. Today's actually her birthday, so happy birthday, Sadie.
There you go.
Yeah.
Okay, and with that said, too, what do you think, do new queens call the reigning queen that left for guidance or information?
Some of them do. They do. We still stay in touch. The Scott Buena Festival queens, Brittany is one of them that I stay in touch with. She's done a great job, so we've stayed in touch. And the International Rice Festival queen, her name's Catherine Weaver, and she's done an incredible job. I actually got to meet her this year, and she complimented me, and she's like, you need to do some more pageants. So that may be something I do, not sure, but it's a community. It's really family. It's so much fun, and if you have the opportunity and confidence to do it, I definitely do it.
Well, I get these brainstorms, right, whenever I'm interviewing someone that I hadn't even thought about. But I sure am seeing an awful lot of things. My heart is for the mentally challenged people, the special needs people, to have things especially for them, even if it's just talent in art, or it's beauty contest, or it's just talent contest where they can wear and be crowned. And that's been in my heart. And again, I've searched YouTube, and that is what's happening in a lot of the schools.
It's really,
They are letting
that's
the
my heart.
people with Down syndromes be nominated. The football players are showing heart. You know, if there's any bully going on, they take up for them. That's the kind of stuff, back to the basics. Love each other, help each other, and everybody, you know, we may be different, but we can still be equal in so many ways. And as you are talking about that, I'm thinking, how about a beauty? I don't know, I don't think I like the idea of beauty. What would we say? How about the honor, the crown, or something?
And it's true, because Scott actually, it was much more of an interview process than walking across the stage. And people looking at you saying, oh, well, she's pretty, let's vote for her. Not that anything's wrong with that, but I really appreciated that this year, for sure. And it was about being genuine and who you are instead of beauty. So.
Well, you know what? You just said something very important, because, see, that's where the beauty inside comes out, especially when I'm looking at someone beautiful like you, and you feel like this, and where kids growing up in my time, way back when, and now, you know, it's nice to hear that is what counts, what's inside.
Yes,
but it's nice to look nice on the outside, too, but it doesn't mean that if we're not as beautiful as the next person, that we're not just as special. Well, I want to tell you right now that we are at the end of the show. The credits are rolling, and I want to thank you very much for coming on. And I'm so glad we had the extra time together, even though there was so much technical stuff going on. But I look forward to inviting you back on the show. Let's talk some more about your other events that you kind of mentioned earlier that I'll go back and listen to. So I need a telephone number later on, so I can get a hold of you, because it's hard tracking you down on Facebook.
Thank you,
and
Miss
all
Sudie,
that.
for everything.
And I really appreciate your own. And I thank Live Facebook and my director for his patience and us getting the show done. So if there's anything you'd like to say, go ahead and say it, and we enter.
If you have a dream, go for it. God has your future, and He knows exactly what your life is going to consist of, so just trust Him.
Sounds like a plan to me.